Did you know that over 65% of divorces are caused by communication issues? But here's the thing, communication isn't just about talking. Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Turpo, your marriage and relationship coach. And today I want to share why communication is the lifeline of a healthy marriage and how you might be missing the mark without even knowing it. So, let's talk about why communication is important. Communication actually builds connection, it builds trust and understanding. Communication is what bridges the gap between two individuals and it allows them to feel seen, it allows them to feel heard and to feel valued. But when you have poor communication, what does that lead to? It leads to a lot of misunderstandings, resentment, and distance between people. So, one of the number one myths about communication that really gets in my craw that I hear a lot, and that the number one myth about communication is communication equals talking. I hear all the time when people would come to my sessions, they'd be like, well, Doc, I don't have the problem. They got the problem because I'm a good communicator. Okay? And they think just because they talk, it makes them a good communicator. They just talk, 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 talk. So that means I'm a good communicator. Just because you talk a lot does not mean that you're a good communicator. It just means you talk a lot. It doesn't mean you communicate well. Because here it is, folks. Talking is only one aspect of communication. Real communication isn't just about what you say, it's how you listen, how you interpret, and even how you respond without words. And there are other aspects of communication too, instead of just talking. In addition to talking, you have other aspects, such as verbal communication. First of all, sharing your thoughts, feelings, and needs. That's the talking aspect. But the other aspects of communication, you have nonverbal cues too. Body language, facial expressions, and tone. You know, people just like, mm-hmm, yeah, mm-hmm, yeah, whatever. Okay, and the yeah, well, I love you too. All these things, the nonverbal cues, these things actually are part of communication too. And the other aspect of communication is listening, active listening, versus waiting for your turn to speak. You know, people who just sitting there, okay, yeah, okay, all right. Are you finished yet? Okay, are you finished? Because I got some, well, let me tell you how I feel. Oh, they're just waiting. They're just waiting. They say, okay, I'm gonna get you on that. I'm gonna get you on this. I'm gonna get you on that. Okay, all right, you finished? Well, let me tell you, boom, 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 ha! What you got for that? Drop the mic. You can't hang with that. See, that's not listening. You're not listening to understand when you react that way. You are listening to win. You're listening to respond and reply. Listen to understand. That's a part of communication as well. So, let me give you some practical tips for effective communication. So, tip number one, practice active listening. This means listening to understand, not just to reply or to try to win the debate. Tip number two, use I statements. Instead of blaming, express how you feel. For example, say, I feel hurt when, or I don't like it when, I feel sad when, I'm insecure about. Use these I statements. I like this, I don't like that. Instead of you always, you never, you, which tends to be more blaming and accusatory. And these you statements tend to set a negative tone to your interactions with people. You want to make sure you're setting a positive tone with interactions by using I statements. Tip number three, be mindful of your tone and body language. Sometimes what you're not saying speaks louder than words. And tip number four, schedule time for meaningful conversations. Okay? Make time for daily check ins without distractions. At the end of the night, just say, hey, how was your day? What went on today? I around 9 o'clock p.m. I cut things off, work, whatever I got to do, and I try to really engage with my wife, ask her about her day, or at least sit down and watch a show together or something like that. One another daily check-in that my wife and I do, especially when the weather is warm, we try to walk the neighborhood every day. And that's a great daily check-in. And you're getting physical conditioning and health achieved as well. So, in closing, let me just recap with you right quick. Remember, communication isn't just about talking, It's about connecting on all levels. So practice active listening, be mindful of your tone, and make time for meaningful conversations. All right? So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more marriage and relationship tips. And tell me in the comments below, what's one thing you've learned about communication in your relationship? Harmonious wishes.